Hey, welcome. You know that feeling, right? You start a new workout plan, you're super motivated, full of energy, and then a few weeks later, poof, you've quit. If that sounds familiar, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're going to break down the science and really the psychology behind building a fitness routine that actually sticks. We're going to get you past those frustrating false starts for good. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First up, we're going to tackle the biggest mental roadblock, that all or nothing trap that just trips so many of us up. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, how to prep your body the right way, how to master those foundational moves for real strength, and then how to unlock your real performance potential. And finally, we'll get to the secret sauce, the one thing that really ties this whole thing together for the long haul. So let's start with a feeling that I bet is, well, it's pretty familiar to a lot of us. You've got the new shoes, the perfect playlist, a solid plan. You are so motivated for, what, a week? Maybe two? And then life happens, right? You miss one workout, and suddenly it feels like the whole thing has just completely collapsed. That, right there, is the all-or-nothing trap. And honestly, it's probably the #1 reason most workout plans just fizzle out. And this quote from Abby Lawson, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. She has it all together, and I am a mess. That's the voice of that trap. It's that nasty comparison game, that little voice in your head telling you to fail. And Abby, she struggled with this for years. It was this vicious cycle. Set a huge goal, miss a single day, and then feel like a complete failure. And what happens next? You're just stuck. It is a brutal loop. But you know what? Acknowledging it and deciding to break it, that's the first huge step. So the big question is, how do we actually break out of that cycle? Well, it starts by thinking small. It's all about building a solid foundation, not just in your head, but physically too. So before you even think about picking up a weight or going for a run, you've got to prepare your body. And that all starts with something we all think we know how to do, but most of us get it wrong. We're talking about stretching. Okay, so listen, not all stretching is created equal. It's not even close. You've basically got two totally different types. First, you have dynamic stretching. This is all about movement. Think leg swings, arm circles, stuff like that. It's kind of like a dress rehearsal for your muscles. It gets them warmed up and ready for the main event. Then you've got static stretching. This is the total opposite. It's all about holding a stretch, and it serves a completely different but just as important purpose. Right, so this brings us to the million-dollar question. When should you use each one? And this is so important, because getting this wrong isn't just, a waste of 5 minutes. It can actually hurt your performance and make you weaker during your workout. Seriously, when it comes to stretching, timing is absolutely everything. So here's the rule, plain and simple. Dynamic stretching is for your warm-up. Think about it like this. Dr. Ann Rex from the Cleveland Clinic explains it's all about mimicking the exact movements you're about to perform. This gets the blood flowing, it raises your muscle temperature. It's basically sending a big signal to your body that says, hey, wake up, it's go time. And then, on the flip side, you've got static stretching. This is strictly for your cool down. After your muscles have put in all that hard work, holding these longer, gentle stretches helps them relax. It can help fight off that, oh my gosh, I can't walk soreness the next day, and over time, it boosts your flexibility. It's the perfect way to tell your body, okay, job well done, time to chill out. All right, we're properly warmed up, now it's time to actually build the house. We're gonna dive into the foundational moves, the absolute blueprint for any solid strength plan. And listen, these aren't just gym exercises. This is about building functional strength you'll use every single day. Hauling groceries, lifting your kids, moving furniture. This is real life strength. And we're starting with the king of them all, the bodyweight squat. This is one of the most fundamental movements we do as humans. Now, the biggest mistake people make is start the movement by bending their knees. No. I want you to focus on step 3 here. Hinge at your hips first. Imagine you're reaching your butt back to sit in a chair that's just a little too far away. That's the key. And the whole time, keep that chest proud and your core tight. Look, with squats, form is everything. It's not negotiable. And there are a few classic mistakes to watch out for. The big one is your knees caving inward. When you do that, you're not just risking an injury, you're literally robbing yourself of all the power in the movement. But the fix can be super simple. Just putting a little resistance band above your knees forces you to push them out, instantly correcting your form and helping you build strength the right way. Okay, moving on to the upper body, let's talk about the knee push-up. This is a fantastic way to build the strength you need for a full push-up. The absolute #1 rule here is alignment. See step 2? You have to create a perfectly straight line from your head, through your hips, all the way to your knees. No sagging your hips down or sticking your butt up in the air. Remember, this is all about control and how many you can do quickly. All right, this next one is shoulder tap. It looks so simple, right? Don't be fooled. This move is an absolute monster for building core stability. The entire goal here is to be as still as a statue. I love this mental trick. Imagine there's a full glass of water balanced perfectly on your lower back. Your job is to go through the whole movement without spilling a single drop. That's the level of control we're aiming for. And here's the why behind it. This quote from trainer Jenny Brown nails it. She calls it anti-rotation at its finest. What does that mean? Well, when you lift one hand, your body naturally wants to twist and rotate to that side. So your deep core muscles have to fire like crazy to prevent that from happening. They have to fight that wobble. That is how you build real, deep, functional strength, not just the muscles you can see in the mirror. Okay, let's fast forward a bit. You've been practicing, you've mastered these foundational moves, your form is solid. Most importantly, you're showing up consistently. So, what's next? Where do you go from here? Well, now we can finally start talking about unlocking your real performance potential. And we do that by strategically and safely turning up the intensity. So if you want to get faster, stronger, and have more endurance, you have to understand this one key idea, the lactate threshold. You know that feeling, right? You're in a really tough workout and your muscles start to burn, and you just have to slow down or stop. That feeling, that's you hitting your lactate threshold. The whole goal of smart training is to teach your body to push that point, that burning feeling, further and further away. And one of the best, most effective ways to do that is with a really simple ratio. It's called 40-20. It's just what it sounds like. 40 seconds of really hard work, followed by 20 seconds of active recovery. Let me break down exactly why this little formula is so powerful. So what you're doing here is a form of high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. During those tough 40 seconds, you're pushing your body right up against that lactate threshold. But then, that little 20-second break gives your body just enough time to clear some of that lactate out, so you can go hard again. And when you repeat this process over and over, you're basically training your body to get way more efficient at handling that intensity. It's a total game changer. But here's the real truth. All the perfect exercises, all the stretching tips, all the fancy training intervals, they mean absolutely nothing without the single most important ingredient. We have to bring this all the way back to where we started. It's not about the exercises. It's about your mindset. It's about the simple, incredible power of just showing up. I really want you to let this one sink in. Think about Abby Lawson. Her big goal was to do one single chin-up. And for her, it felt completely impossible. Did it happen in a week? Nope. A month? Not even close. It took her working out for 300 days in a row before finally, on day 301, she did it. That is what progress looks like. It's almost never fast. It's just consistent. And you know that incredibly frustrating feeling when you're putting in the work day after day, but you're just not seeing any results? Well, there's actually a name for that. It's called the plateau of latent potential. It's this critical time when all your hard work is building up, but it's happening just under the surface where you can't see it yet. This is the danger zone. This is where most people give up, right before the big breakthrough. Your only job in that moment is to not quit. Just keep going. So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Long-term success is not about having a few perfect Instagram-worthy workouts. It's about having hundreds, even thousands of messy, imperfect things. It's about the simple, sometimes boring, but incredibly powerful habit of just showing up. Abby turned her I can't do a chin-up into I did one. So I'll leave you with this question. What's your I can't statement? And are you ready to show up long enough to prove yourself wrong?